So I've been doing a lot of self-reflection lately, just thinking about my life. I was thinking about how I used to be, and I was thinking about how I am today. And the one thing that stuck out to me, and by the way, this is really depressing, is the fact that I've never felt like I fit in with people. And it holds truth, because when you look at my life, I tend to do things by myself. I'm just naturally a loner. When you look at my life in high school, I never had any close friends. There were some people that I kind of associated myself with, but I always felt like that group of people didn't look at me as somebody who fit in with them. So I have always felt left out. And because of that, that is the topic of this video, and that is what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to discuss with you how you can get to fit in with people and why you feel like you do or don't fit in, and if it really matters if you fit in. So you probably know the answers to all of these, but stick around. And I have a quote that I'm going to give you at the end from me. So the first thing to realize is that what determines whether or not you fit in with people or a specific group of people is number one, whether or not you believe you fit in with them, and number two, whether or not they believe you fit in with them. So it's kind of a two-way street here. When it comes to the first point, you need to realize that your entire life, everyone's life, is a process of being able to identify yourself. You can almost say that we all go on this journey of self-discovery. As you're a kid, growing up, being a teenager, you start to ask yourself questions like, who am I? What am I interested in? What do I want to do with my life? And all of these things determine whether or not you feel like you fit in with certain groups of people or just people in general or not. When I was younger, a lot younger, as a little kid I guess you could say, I liked to play sports such as baseball and basketball and soccer. For a while I thought of myself as an athlete. That was the group that I felt like I belonged to. That was the label I put on myself. But then I came across people who were more dedicated to playing sports, other kids. And suddenly I felt like what it took to be an athlete, what it took to be a part of that group is somebody who needs to be that dedicated. So suddenly I stopped thinking of myself as an athlete. And yes, I know I was probably only like 10 years old, but I felt lost, and I was trying to find new things that I could come up with to label myself with and identify my being as. You know, you really need to realize that people like to label other people and put them into groups and categories and give them stereotypes. This is not a good thing, because some of the things will be true, but other things won't be true, or some of the things will be true some of the time, but not all the time. So you can't make these big, bold, broad statements that seem to cover everyone in a group, because some people might not have those characteristics. So the other part of the equation is that in order for you to fit in with others, other people need to be accepting of you. I think there's a lot of people that when they start to assume a identity and they start to become somebody who feels like they belong to a specific group, what happens, and this is not a good thing, is that they get so full of pride that they're unable to look at other people outside of their group or their identity, and they start to look down on other people. Like, you don't do what I do, I think that you're worthless, or you know, you can't ever be like me because I'm so much better than you because I can do all these great things. And that's not the way to live in the world. I mean, it's not just enough to say, you know, I'm going to tolerate you. There has to be something more. You have to be able to say, I know that I'm good at what I do, but I also know that you have things that you can offer that are different than me. So this is kind of a loving, accepting of everybody kind of thing that is based on a positive recognition of somebody rather than a negative one. God dang, I wish I knew if what I was saying makes sense. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but to me it does. Okay, in order for you to fit in with a group, number one, you have to believe that you have what it takes to fit in with them, and number two, other people have to believe that you can fit in with them. Otherwise, there is no fitting in. But the point is that much of what we believe or what other people believe of you is untrue. And so we kind of just got to get past all of that. And then everybody will be able to fit in with everybody. And we'll all live in peace and everything will be all great. So if you don't fit in, is that important? Do you need to fit in? The answer is no, of course you don't need to fit in. The following is a little piece I've written up, and I think this kind of captures this idea of feeling left out as if you don't belong. There's that moment when the world is buzzing all around you, and you're sitting in the midst of it thinking to yourself, if I wasn't here, it wouldn't even make a difference. Then you say to yourself, well, if I'm going to be here, I might as well make a difference. That's something I wrote up, and it kind of is this idea that you don't have to ever feel like you are insignificant, as if you don't matter, as if fitting in is what's important to you. What's important to you is to know that you can make a difference, to know that you can get something done with yourself and in your life. Why would we waste time with these labels and trying to categorize people and trying to understand where you fit in with the world? We're all in this together. We all have to be in this together, because if we're not all in this together, society wouldn't function. You know, I guess what I want to say is that if you feel like you don't fit in, then good. Because if you don't feel like you fit in, then that means that you are on a great journey of making something happen within yourself and in your life. And by you being you, you can make a difference in the world. Not saying you will, I'm just saying you can. I can't fill this video with so much positive stuff. So yeah, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next video. Don't forget to like me on Facebook, and also share this video with your friends. That's always a good idea.